You're training harder than ever and still not seeing that one thing, a stronger, rounder, damn, that's progress kind of glute. That was me. Hip thrusts, squats, lunges, everything that glute girlies swear by. 3 months in. Okay, maybe a tiny change? 6 months. Wait, is it smaller? 1 year. 1 inch of growth. Total. I was this close to quitting and opening my own pancake printing business. But it didn't. I started investigating it, like a detective case. And after coaching dozens of women, I noticed a pattern. It almost always comes down to 4 silent mistakes. And once you fix them, you can unlock insane growth. And no, this isn't some train harder, eat more protein video. In fact, to prove one of these points, I ran a mini experiment on myself. The main thing to understand is you're not failing. You're just playing a rigged game. Here's what they have: elite genetics, endless recovery time, a paycheck tied to their workouts, and the farm support. Yeah, we're saying it. And oh, most of them are guys. Training as a woman with a schedule, a job, a life, whole different ballgame. But there's a way to win it. So today, I'll break down the 4 biggest mistakes that are quietly killing your glute gains. What to do instead. Let's start with the one that traps almost every woman I work with. When you hear advice about glute growth, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Let me guess.
Push, more.
Everywhere you look, people yell that you're just not pushing enough. So what do? You run to the gym and go all in. Hip thrusts, lunges, squats. You're grinding hard. Take this girl, for example. She trained glutes 3 times per week. That's 40 plus sets in total. Sounds intense, right? By the way, most people track days or minutes, but what actually matters is total sets per week. For example, 3 exercises, 4 sets each. It's 12 sets per session. Train glutes 3 times per week, boom, 36 plus sets. And what do you think? Did all that volume speed up my glute growth? No, it was actually worse than nothing. I was swollen, exhausted, and with 2 tiny plums. Here's the thing. Muscles don't grow when you train. They grow when you rest. To put it simply, you injure your muscles during the workout. Tiny tears form in them. And then, when you rest and recover, your body repairs those tears by building back stronger. But if you never let them recover, you're just tearing it down over and over again. It's like trying to build a sandcastle while the tide keeps washing it away. And here's what happens when you overtrain. First, your body goes into full-on panic mode. The second, cortisol, the stress hormone, goes through the roof. And then, muscle repair slows down and even stores fat. Love that for us. Now, 2 workouts a week, 16 sets. But every rep feels like I'm fighting gravity itself. But what do scientists say? They debate the perfect number, but the general consensus is 12 to 20 sets per week. One study even found that more than 12 sets per week led to less muscle growth. Yeah, let that sink in. More than 20 sets per week. You're not training. You're just steering your glutes down faster than they can rebuild. But even if you're training the perfect amount, there is still one more problem. If your glutes are asleep, they won't grow. Here's the deal. If you spend most of your day sitting, which, let's be real, who doesn't, your glutes basically forget they exist. Blood flow slows down, nerve signals weaken. Your brain literally forgets how to use them. So when you finally hit the gym, all excited to squat your way to a juicy peach, what happens? Your body basically cheats. Instead of using your glutes, it compensates by shifting the work to quads, hamstrings, lower back. Basically, you're out here trying to grow your booty, but your legs and lower back are stealing all the gains. If you have ever finished your glute workout and thought, why do I feel it only in my quads? Why is my lower back killing me? Or why do my glutes feel like nothing happened? If that's how your workouts feel, your glutes skip leg day. Studies show that prolonged sitting causes your gluteus maximus to shut down, leading to delayed activation and weaker contractions. Another study shows that many people activate their quads and hamstrings way more than glutes, even doing glute exercises. And fun fact, weak glutes don't just kill your booty gains, they can also lead to knee pain, lower back pain, and posture issues. Want to double check if your glutes are on vacation? Then try this. Stand up, lift your leg in front of your body. If your pelvis tilts down on one side, then congrats! You probably have weak glutes. Now, I could tell you to just move more, but we both know you're not going to sprint around your office. Here's the fix. After a whole day of sitting and before each booty workout, do this 90-second activation drill. It's fast and it actually works. Glute bridges. 30 seconds. Slow and controlled. Squeeze it top like you're cracking a walnut. Next, leg lifts. 15 seconds per leg. No wild kicks, just focused glute activation with full control. If you feel the burn, congrats, you're doing it right. Last one, lunges. 30 seconds. Keep your weight in your heels and actually use your glutes. If you feel like your quads are doing all the work, lean forward slightly, just enough to stretch your glutes. Do this and I promise, you'll finally feel your glutes showing up to work. No more wasted reps. But let's be clear, it's very important. Just doing this won't build your glutes. It's like waking up someone in the middle of the night and expecting them to run a marathon. And here's where most people mess up. Not because they're not training hard, but because they're making one or both of these sneaky mistakes. Here's how it happens. You start off determined. You focus on depth, control, form is so solid it deserves those epic edits on TikTok. And then you hear lift heavier, push harder, more reps. So you do. And your squat gets higher and higher and higher and higher. Your depth shrinks and your form starts to slip. It's sneaky. You won't notice until your progress flatlines. And here's why it's killing your gains. Your body is smart. When your glutes are fully stretched under load, your body gets the signal, loud and clear. She really needs this muscle. Maybe it's for survival. Maybe she's carrying triplets. Let's grow it. But when you cut the range short, your body is like, oh, I guess she's fine. No muscle needed. And science backs it up. A bunch of research shows that stretching muscle under load actually leads to better activation. The second mistake is even sneakier, because technically you're training your glutes and doing it right. But in reality, your quads and hamstrings are stealing the show. The reason is simple. Your angles are off. If your knees are bending a lot and your hips aren't moving much, then your quads are doing the work. If your legs are too straight during deadlifts, then your hamstrings take over. Fix your angles and boom, your glutes finally get the memo. But even if your training is on point, chances are you're eating wrong. Here's how most people approach muscle growth. I need more protein. Starts eating chicken with every meal. Still not growing. Adds shakes, eggs, Greek yogurt, more chicken. Still nothing. Wonders if they should start eating tuna straight out of the can. If you've been training for a while, you definitely heard about the golden protein number. But here's the truth. Yeah, protein is important, but if you're trying to grow glutes, more than 1.6 grams per kilo or 0.7 per pound is about as useful as heater in Texas. To put that into perspective, if you weigh 130 pounds, you need about 92 grams of protein per day. But just one 8-ounce steak is already 54 grams of protein. So unless you're cutting for a competition, all that extra protein is just overkill. And you might suspect that I'm just trying to save poor chickens. And no, they're too delicious for that. But the big problem is when you're eating only protein, aka surviving on chicken breast and sadness, you're missing out on the very important muscle building fuel. Carbs. I actually tested this on myself. I ate different and then tried to push as hard as I can. The first workout I ate normal carbs and I did 15 reps of Bulgarian split squat in total. But the next time I ate only protein the night before and in the morning and I barely managed 11 reps. See the difference? Building glutes without carbs is slow, frustrating, and makes zero sense. And yet, so many women avoid carbs just because they're scared of gaining fat, or even worse, they're trying to lose weight and gain muscle at the same time. Spoiler alert, if you're not overweight, that's pretty much impossible. But when carbs are low, your workouts suffer, your recovery stalls, and your body basically goes, no fuel, no muscle. The good news, this is an easy and delicious fix. Aim for 2.3 grams of carbs per pound of body weight. It's about 170 grams for a 130-pound woman. Track for 3 days. That's all it takes to realize what fueling actually feels like. And if you're lazy, here's what it looks like in real food. Breakfast, omelette plus fruit. Lunch, veggies plus tuna plus rice. Dinner, potatoes plus chicken. Snack, banana or yogurt. That's not a carb binge. That's how strong girls eat. Alright, now you know why your glutes aren't growing. But here's the thing, don't fix everything. Start with one shift. 1 rep, 1 plate, and let your body prove you right. Maybe you dial back your crazy workouts and actually let your muscles recover. Maybe you activate your glutes first, so they actually do the work. Maybe you fix your squat depth, so your body knows it needs to grow. Or maybe you just eat the damn carbs. Want glutes that don't just grow, they show up on camera, in jeans, in your confidence. That's in the description. Still here? Then you know what to do. See you at the gym at 10.